fans, if you are watching the US Open at this point in time, well, it is not a good it's not good news if you're a Rafa Nadal fan, folks. Breaking news, Rafael Nadal has crashed out of the US Open. This is his first defeat in a Grand Slam in 2022. He was knocked out of the US Open in four sets by Francis Tiafoe, the 22nd seed from America. This is a major development, folks, because Rafael Nadal was tipped to win the US Open for the fifth time in the absence of Novak Djokovic. He had done well by recovering against Fabio Fognini in the second round. He had put up a brilliant display in the third round against Richard Gasquet. But now, against Francis Tiafoe, he has lost in four tough sets. This is yet again, I reiterate, this is the first Grand Slam loss for Rafael Nadal in 2022. He won the Australian Open, he won the French Open. He could have almost won Wimbledon, but a side strain forced him to miss the semi final. Now, in the US Open, he has suffered his first loss of 2022. And it summed up a pretty action packed day, folks, when it came to the US Open. Daniil Medvedev at the start of the day crashed out by losing to Nick Kyrgios. Now, this means that for the first time in a very long time in the US Open, both the women's and the men's defending champions are out. Emma Raducanu had crashed out in the first round itself. Nick Kyrgios has managed to beat the men's defending champion. Remember, folks, Daniil Medvedev had beaten Novak Djokovic last year to deny him the chance of a Grand Slam, if I may say, the calendar Grand Slam. But here, Rafael Nadal was gunning for a record 23rd Grand Slam. This now has been put into the back burner with that four-set loss to Francis Tiafoe. Nothing went right for the Spaniard at the start of the match. He conceded too many double faults and his serve also let him down. Tiafoe, remember, is a big server and he nailed 18 aces, whereas Nadal managed just 9. But the double faults, when it came to accuracy, that probably set the tone of the match. 4 double faults from Francis Tiafoe, but 9 from Rafael Nadal. And it only summed up the fact that perhaps it was not going to be really a big problem. So the US Open is going to see two new winners, both in the women's and the men's. Remember, Iga Swiatek is one of the top players who is still there in the field. She defeated and she's going to face Jessica Pegula next. But if you have to look at the men's, there are two favorites emerging, folks. One is Nick Kyrgios and the other seems to be Francis Tiafoe. Francis Tiafoe, on the other hand, is from the US and he is tipped to be one of the local favorites. There is also disappointment for British fans. Cameron Norrie has also lost in straight sets to Andrei Rublev. So, most of the top seeds have crashed out in the US Open with the exception of Nick Kyrgios. Kyrgios, on the other hand, continues to have a magnificent 2022. He reached the final of the Wimbledon Championships where he lost to Novak Djokovic. But on the other hand, his efforts in the US Open is there. There is also Carlos Alcaraz, but Alcaraz in the hard courts has not yet proven to be, he's not yet proven his best there. Although he's a clay court contender, remember he defeated Nadal and Djokovic in one tournament, but at the same time, he still has a long way to go when it comes to hard courts. So, breaking news, folks, for anybody who's joining us right now, Rafael Nadal has crashed out of the US Open when he lost to Francis Tiafoe in four tough sets. This is Nadal's first loss in 2022 in a Grand Slam, and now it remains to be seen whether the rest of the year can he gun for his maiden ATP year-ending championships. Because remember, Nadal may have achieved everything in tennis, but if there is one title that is missing, it is the year-ending World Championships, the ATP year-ender. One hopes that he can. Okay, Shubham Singh, he reached deep in the US Open, won ATP 1000 in hard court. But remember, the ATP one, that is an exception to the norm, but yes, he won. He may have won even in Cincinnati. I do agree with some of the points, but at the same time, look, Alcaraz, if he faces up to Nick Kyrgios, he might have a big problem there because Kyrgios is a much better player on the hard courts than Alcaraz. If it wasn't clay, then I may argue that Alcaraz was better than Kyrgios. So Nick Kyrgios, Andre Rublev, and Carlos Alcaraz seem to be the three players who will be vying for that you made in US Open title. And the US Open continues to give you new winners. It was Dominic Thiem, then Daniil Medvedev ended Novak Djokovic's quest for a calendar slam, and now Francis Tiafoe has ended Rafael Nadal's quest for a 23rd Grand Slam title and a 5th US Open title. So thank you so much folks for joining us for the special live. We'll be back with more updates. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram folks. Bye bye.